Hey guys, what is going on? I hope you all are doing well. Elliot here. Welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So have you ever had a conversation with anybody on fragrance concentrations? You know, which one's the best? Which one's the best for this? Which one's the best for that? What's your favorite overall? I know I have my personal favorite, but you know what? I thought about it. That would be a good video idea. So it is Fragrance Fight Night, the battle of the concentrations. We got Eau de Toilette versus Eau de Parfum versus Extrait de Parfum. We're gonna have them battle it out. Let's go ahead and get into it right now. All right, guys, and welcome back. So what I chose to do was use the Spin the Wheel app to put all of my fragrances separated by concentration and use it as a randomizer to pick 2 fragrances from each category. That way I'm not just, picking ones that I like. I actually want it to be kind of fair in that fragrances that I honestly would maybe never feature on this channel would also have a chance to join in the battle, if you will, and also keep it very random, because otherwise I would just probably pick my favorite one and already know what it is. I don't think that's very interesting. So right before I started shooting this video, that's what I did, and we're gonna go through them right now. So for Eau de Toilette, we got Drakkar Noir versus This Is Him from Zadig and Voltaire. For Eau de Parfum, we got Oud Wood versus Gentleman Reserve Privé from Givenchy. For Parfum, we've got The Harmonious Hypnotizing Fire versus Xerjoff Oud and Overdose. And for Extrait, we've got Dior Sauvage Elixir versus Nishane's Ani. So for Eau de Toilette, first contender is going to be Drakkar Noir from Guy Laroche. Drakkar Noir from Guy Laroche. Very popular fragrance from the 80s, fragrance of yesteryear. Barbershop style, very spicy, has a good amount of lavender, a lot of clean greenness to it, very aromatic, a little bit of sweetness. It's a fragrance of yesteryear. I am definitely a fan of it. This did come out before I was born, so I can't say I was a fan of it when it came out, but I still think it's a great fragrance. And it's going against this one here from Zadig and Voltaire. This is Him. Now this fragrance, I am not the biggest fan of. Warm and spicy, kind of got a vanillic touch to it. It's not a very natural one. And some woodiness to it. So kind of a warm, spicy, woody fragrance, very sweet, kind of sensual, easy to wear fragrance. I'm just not that impressed by it. I just think there's a quality deficit in my opinion that I just can't really get down with. So this was actually a blind buy that I got that I said, I didn't really live up to the expectations. So between these two, I think I have to go with Drakkar Noir because I actually like Drakkar Noir much more than I like this one. So This Is Him is not gonna make the cut. That's the first one to go down. So Drakkar Noir is moving on to the finals, if you will, for the Eau de Parfum category. First up, Tom Ford Oud Wood. Tom Ford Oud Wood. The fragrance that kind of popularized oud style fragrances, if you will, in the United States, sort of, or at least one of them. I know M7 was a good one as well. Warm spices, slightly sweet, very woody, of course, Oud Wood. If there is any oud in this, it's definitely not the skanky kind of oud by any measure of the imagination. By the way, remember, oud can come in a lot of different forms. It's not something that's just automatically going to have fecal characteristics to it or barnyard-like characteristics. But this fragrance is beautiful, man. I don't care that it doesn't perform as well as some people like. It's still an awesome fragrance. And it's gonna go against this one here from Givenchy, Gentleman Reserve Privé. Eau de Parfum Reserve Privé, I think is the full name. Another one where the name is too long. Also a really great fragrance. Irish fragrance, of course, has a little bit of a boozy edge to it, slightly gourmand, kind of a candied nuttiness to it, very creamy, warm and sensual, intoxicating, if you will. This is a good one. This is a tough battle for me. Because I really like Oud Wood, but this is also just really good. I'm not gonna knock this one down, even if it does not hold that notoriety that Oud Wood does. But if I had to pick, I think I gotta go with Oud Wood, because Oud Wood, it is higher quality than this. They're two completely different types of fragrances, and not to say that this one's low quality, but I do think this one does have a quality edge. I also really like it, and also it has a kind of a sentimental value for me in that it was the fragrance I got that really introduced me to higher level perfumery before I even started collecting. So Oud Wood's gonna move on to the next round. So for the Parfum round, first up we got the Harmonist Hypnotizing Fire. The Harmonist Hypnotizing Fire. Now, this fragrance is amazing. A lot of fresh and warm spices, an intoxicating quality to it. Kind of boozy, a little bit vanillic, some woodiness to it, a little bit of smokiness. This fragrance goes through quite a bit of changes as it dries down. Impeccable quality, awesome bottle, really good fragrance. It's going against this one here from Xerjoff, Oud Overdose. This is another one I really, really do love. So this is a tough battle here. Oud Overdose, completely different style fragrance, so big ups to the randomizer for that. It's a sweet, floral, fresh fragrance, kind of musky, features a tobacco flower, so more of a floral tobacco quality to it. Some fresh spices that I think there's ginger, a quart of ginger in this. This fragrance is awesome for like the transition months. I would wear it in the summertime, except the humidity is got to be like 200% right now. It's just far too humid for this. I kind of wanted to wear this today, but it's too rich for that. Also has a kind of a coffee vibe to it. I would call it kind of like an iced coffee vibe. Really good fragrance. Now this is a tough battle. Two different styles, two different uses, but also just both really good fragrances. You know what? I'm gonna go with Hypnotizing Fire. I think Hypnotizing Fire has a interesting quality to it that just makes it a more interesting fragrance. It goes through a lot more of a transition on the dry down. I do picture like watching a fire from start to finish when I wear this fragrance. So we're gonna give this one the edge. So that one's gonna move on to the next round. So for the for the extrait category, first up is Dior Sauvage Elixir. Now I do think Dior Sauvage Elixir is technically a Parfum Intense. I'm gonna categorize it as an extrait because it really wears like one. I'm not sure if it, yeah, there's no way I can see that in this lighting. But I'm gonna categorize it as an extrait. Super spicy, a lot of lavender in this. Kind of reminiscent to Drakkar Noir, so I didn't even consider that when making this choice. But yeah, kind of a nod to that 80s spicy, warm, aromatic barbershop style scent, giving it a little bit of a modern touch to it. Really great fragrance. This was a love at first sniff for me. I still rather enjoy it. And it's gonna go against this one here from Nishane. This is Ani from Nishane. Now, this fragrance is not necessarily my favorite out of all the Anis I have. I'm warming up to this fragrance though. I'm liking it more and more. It's a spicy, vanillic fragrance. Has some green accords to it. It has enough of a freshness to it that I think it can be worn in warmer weather. Maybe not necessarily the height of summer, but it can be worn in warmer weather if you adjust the sprays. Quality is definitely there. I think of kind of like a high quality cookie, sugar cookie, if you will. I don't know why that picture gets painted in my mind because I don't really think of this as a gourmand, but that's the picture that gets painted. Yeah, really good fragrance. I'm warming up to it. It's still not my favorite Nishane, but I'm warming up to it. Going against these two, this is tough because I hate to put Nishane under a Dior fragrance. No shot at Dior. They make good fragrances overall. But this one has always been a love. I've never had to warm up to this one at all as opposed to this one. So I'm gonna give Dior Sauvage Elixir the nod here. So in the finals, we've got Drakkar Noir versus Oud Wood versus Hypnotizing Fire versus Sauvage Elixir. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do these against each other. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick them. So Drakkar Noir. Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna win against these other fragrances here. Sure, it was a great fragrance from the 80s, super popular. Certainly, I don't know if you could call it a trendsetter. I'm not that keen on if this style of fragrance was a first, if you will. But definitely a staple in the history of fragrances. But yeah, that's not gonna win against the likes of these other fragrances here. So Oud Wood versus Hypnotizing Fire versus Sauvage Elixir. You know what? I can tell you right now, Sauvage Elixir is great, but I can't have it winning over those two. So we're gonna put that one aside. So in the finals, we've got a Parfum versus an Eau de Parfum. Hypnotizing Fire versus Oud Wood. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Hypnotizing Fire, man. Oud Wood is awesome. Very important fragrance to me, but in terms of kind of thinking about the whole package, quality of the fragrance, enjoyability of the fragrance, even wearability, this fragrance is wearable, and also just how much I like it, I gotta give a nod to this one. The Harmonist makes some stunning fragrances. Not all of them are for everybody, but I don't think anybody can deny that all of them are supreme quality fragrances, very well done. So this one here, I'm gonna give the nod. So Hypnotizing Fire from the Harmonist is going to be the winner of this iteration of the Concentration Wars. I might do another version of this. We'll see how it's received, but this is kind of fun for me. So Parfum gets the first win in the Concentration Wars. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.